What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 16, and we're starting today's episode with a recap of how our squad is now currently looking for Season 2 after the rebuild in the last episode where we sold so much deadwood at the City Ground and made 7 new signings. Fred, Ward-Prowse, Marcos, Henderson on a permanent deal, Sirigu, Toney, and Solanke as well, all arriving for the new season as the rebuild continues. And I thought, why stop there? We still got money remaining in our budget with a week to go until the new season starts. I'm relegated with Bournemouth last season. We've already bought in Solanke, we've already bought in Marcos, and I'm going to pick up Jayden Anthony. Yep, came through the Bournemouth Academy. Got his first Premier League goal against Nottingham Forest this year, actually, in the 3-2 comeback victory. And I like this guy, I do. He's quick, he's a good dribbler of the ball, very good balance, and a really hard worker as well, which again is the most important thing for me. On a cut price deal with the Cherries after their relegation, having a clear out in the summer, Jayden Anthony is in on a 4-year, £27,000 a week deal. And again, whilst he won't play that many minutes, he's mainly here as an impact sub. Again, I really like his stats. Great energy, keeps hold of his body really well, high work rates, and again, a solid dribbler of the ball and very quick as well. He can definitely play up top. He's got a decent finishing and attack position stat as well. But if we do opt for different systems this year, well, we might need a solid winger. Alex Mytons came back from his loan spell, but I wouldn't mind a youngster who can develop for the future with some good first team quality as well. Jayden Anthony is in as our 8th signing of the window. 3 of them have come from Bournemouth. The Cherries are sick of me raiding the vitality right now. But following that, a bid for Joe Worrall, the captain, obviously turned down from Sevilla, and a bid for Laria, the Canadian international from SC Braga, which we of course accepted. And after season ticket money came in, you can see we still have just shy of 19 mil in the budget. And as we turn down this bid for Taiwo from Bologna, 3rd bid for our Nigerian striker, and I just blocked the offers here. I was like, I'm just fed up with this now. We had a bid for Fauna from Middlesbrough, came back from his loan spell last season, but nowhere near good enough for this team as the Laria deal does fall through. So he is going to go to the Riverside for 1.3 mil. I decided to make my 2nd signing of today's episode, our 8th of the window, and perhaps our final one as well. Yep, we are liking those players who were part of relegated teams last year because we know we can get them on cut price deals. We've brought in 3 from Bournemouth, Ward-Prowse from Southampton, and now we are going to pick up one of the biggest bargains of the window. For £15 million, plus the Canadian 27-year-old who just turned down a move to Braga. From Chelsea to Southampton, and now at the City Ground on a 5-year deal. Welcome, Tino Livramento. And I am so big on this kid, man. I really am. If he can stay injury-free and healthy, the sky is the limit. England are stacked at right back. So the bonus for Livramento is knowing on the international stage, there's several nations he could represent. I think Scotland, actually, is a nation he could represent. I think Portugal as well. Is it Portugal? Is it Portugal or Italy? I think it's Portugal, but definitely Scotland. And the English youth international, at least, is in. And again, for £15 million, plus a player we were going to sell anyway. I'm buzzing with this. Now, he's not the strongest, but he's very quick with bags of energy. And, you know, last season we had the joint worst defensive record in the division. We needed to improve it. I needed to get Dean back. I've done so. I needed a new good starting centre-half. I've got one. And now a new, good, solid, young right-back. Tino Livramento is in. And again, I briefly touched on this, you know. I think EA have done a really good job of understanding that when clubs are relegated, they won't hold you to ransom for their players because obviously going down to the Championship, if they've got enough quality to play in the Premier League and they want to play international football, they're not going to want to hang around in the 2nd tier. So they're going to put in transfer requests and they're going to want to leave. And of course, when clubs get relegated from the Premier League to the Championship, they take a major financial hit and the player contracts are going to be wages which the clubs will struggle to justify paying without that luxurious TV money you get in the Premier League. So you look at our signings, 5 of which have come from relegated teams, 3 from Bournemouth and 2 from the Saints. And they've all been either under the valuation or good value for money deals. So props to EA for that, because for too long, clubs would still hold you to ransom. You know, drop into the championship and playing like an 86 rated player and paying him 100 grand a week. Now, I think EA have realised for realism, those clubs will cash in, and they have. 5 new signings from relegated teams and great value for money deals. So, the question was, after our 8th signing of the window, how would we gel heading into the new season? Our first game of the Premier League in Season 2 away against Leeds at Ellen Road in Yorkshire against Jesse Marsh's side. And it was all Leeds. I'd really struggled in this game, but Henderson back in on a permanent deal and made a couple of great saves as we were still deadlocked at 0-0. And I needed to change something, so with half an hour to go, I took off Lingard and brought on Toney for his debut. I left him on the bench for the first game of the season and started our duo of Taiwo and Johnson. But can you believe it? His first kick as a Nottingham Forest player is an acrobatic effort from a corner which finds the back of the net. What a camera angle as the Forest faithful go ballistic in the away end of Ellen Road. The shocker, the star, my hero, my mate, Toney, with the beautiful acrobatic effort with the weaker left foot, beats Meslier and puts Forest in front. Toney, with his first touch as a Nottingham Forest player, scores about 5 seconds into his debut. I love him. I love him. I love him. He is surely my FIFA career mode GOAT hero. Toney with the opener and Forest lead. And totally against a run of play in a totally undeserved victory. Dean Henderson made a couple of great saves late on in the game as we held on to the 1-0 victory and win on the opening day away at Ellen Road by a 0-0 courtesy of our 2 new signings. The shocker on the other end with that beautiful acrobatic effort, and Henderson with a few big saves. Niakate was a monster in the game, by the way. Some really big saves there. So Bogle saying come the end of the game in the post-match interview, we got a squad now. There's the copypasta for those that are NBA fans. You know what I'm referencing there. We got a squad now, and we do. I'm loving this. Is so much better than last year's team, man. It's so much more like my team as the back deal falls through to Kilmarnock here, our youngster. I'm probably going to release him if I can't sell him. But yeah, Toney saying he's ready to start more games now as he's come in and he's feeling much more settled and part of the dressing room. But I'm so much happier with this team now. You know, last season we inherited this squad where I was looking at it and I was thinking, yeah, it's got some quality, it's got some good youngsters as well, but really, it's going to need improving, and it doesn't really feel like my sort of team. It does now. We got a squad now. I'm loving how this team is looking. It looks like I often talk about it. Certain teams, especially when they brought in so many players in one transfer window, can often look like a team of individuals and a group of individual players as opposed to a collective unit as a squad and a team. Last season, that's how I kind of felt. We had great individuals, but not a great team. But now, I feel like we're a much more together, collective unit with one common goal. Get Nottingham Forest back in the big time in the future. This is a much better team. This is a much more solid team. This is a much more cohesive unit. And for the second game of the season, our first game at home, this was the game last season where we put a gap between us and the bottom 3 and all but confirmed our safety. Leicester at home in the East Midlands derby. We won it 3-1 last season, and what a start for our first game at the City Ground in Season 2. Rhodri storming down the left. He's had that potential downgrade, but he'll still be my starting left back. Assist Johnson for his first year. It's 1-0 and then 21 minutes in. Heads the ball off the line. Chance on the break for Forest. Ward-Prowse through to Taiwo. from defence to attack in a matter of moments. Rhodri off the line from the corner for the second time in 2 years. He's leapt like a salmon to head a ball off the line. We turn defence into attack. It's a great piece of hold-up play by JWP for his first assist and Taiwo's first goal of the season. And I've got a huge dilemma, man. I've got a huge dilemma. Who starts up top this year? Who starts up top? Brennan Johnson, Taiwo, Toney. One's got to sit on the bench, but they've all got 1 goal each. Who is that unlucky lad that is our impact sub? We lead by 2-0 and could have gone 3-0 up in the second half. Well, I'll be honest here, in the second half I dominated possession. Didn't really get too many chances. Johnson had the best one here. This shot well saved by Danny Ward, but in the end it finished as a 2-0 victory. And guys, don't pinch yourself, even though I found it hard to believe at first. Forest have got 2 clean sheets in a row and 2 wins in a row. I'll say it once again, like the Cavs said back in 2018 after they they traded most of their squad for younger athletic players before the trade deadline back in 2018. We got a squad now. We got a squad now. I'm loving it. Forest win back-to-back. No goals conceded and 2 wins on the trot and sit in 4th place. Forest are massive. Forest are back. Thanks for watching today's episode, guys. Really, have enjoyed it. From just like, much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode featuring Transfer Deadline Day very soon.